Okay, so we're going to start over again. We are on the third Mishnah, or the third Brisa of the 6th chapter of Pirkei Avos. Halomed mechavero perak echad, a person who learns a single chapter. Oh halacha achat. Even if you learn just one halacha, one conceptual, how you're supposed to act in your life idea, right? Doesn't mean that the guy tells you, how to cheat at Wars with Friends. He gives you over a meaningful thing, right? He gives you a halacha as a piece of practical advice on how to live your life in accordance with the way Hashem wants you to live your life. Or he teaches you over, right, a whole chapter of Torah, a chapter of Mishnah, a chunk of substantive learning. O pasuk echad, or even one pasuk. He takes one verse in the Torah and explains it to you so you understand what it means, right? Or dibur echad, or maybe not. He just gives you one little concept, right? It's not even a whole pasuk. He just gives you over an idea and you say, "Whoa, that's cool," right? Or filu ot echad, or he teaches you even a single letter. What is, why is an aleph an aleph? What's the depth of? But a person who teaches you Torah, it says sarich linhag bo kavod. It's necessary for you. The word is linhag, right? Like a minchag, right? A hanchaga, a custom. That you need to accustom yourself bo kavod towards him. You have to deal with him, and your customary approach of dealing with him needs to be one of respect. Shachain matzinu b'David Melech Yisrael. We see that, right, King David, the guy knew a few things, right? Pretty high up on the Torah hierarchy. It says, Shalo lamad mi'afitofa elo shnei devarim bilvad. He learned from his associate, from his assistant Achitophel, 2 things. We'll go over those in a minute. He learns 2 things. Ukra'u Rab, and so he called him. Right? Here's the guy who's the king of Israel. He's writing Tehillim, right? He's like, he knows his stuff. And someone teaches him 2 ideas, 2 Torah ideas. And he looks at him, he calls him Rabbo, my rabbi, my teacher. Right? Alufo, my general, my commander. Right? Miuda'u, my close knowledge, my intimate. Right? The person who's close to me, who's looking after me. Right? Shnemar, as it says, and then it gives you the quote where he actually says this. Right? And he goes through, right? The person who learns a single chapter, Allah says, so you can derive it from, if King David, who learned nothing from Achitophel except for 2 things, calls him his teacher, his guide, his intimate, right? So one who learns a single thing, a single halacha, a single verse, single statement, even a single letter, how much more should you treat him with honor? If the king can treat this guy who's a nobody, who taught him 2 little things, so how much more should you do so? And then it says, honor is due, v'ein kavod ela Torah. And there is no kavod except for Torah. Shnemar, as it says, kavod hachamim yinachalu. Right, that the wise, the chachamim kavod yinachalu. Right, their hanchala, right, nachalot, that their inheritance will be honor. That's what chachamim mean. The tamimim and the perfect yinchalu tov, and the perfect inherit good. Right, the ein tov ela Torah, and here's no thing that's good other than Torah. Shnamar, as it says, ki lekach tov nasati lechem, because I have given good to you. Torah, all ta'azovni, and my Torah you shouldn't forsake. What's it all mean? Kavod harav, ultimately, that one of the hardest things for a person to learn and to hang on to is the concept of hakaras hatov, is to recognize and see that someone has done good for you, and to honor that, to pay that back, right? But it comes, our idea is that this word is hakaras hatov, is to recognize it and to see it. So David, who has every right to insist on distance and respect and honor, right? That's what he wants from people. is right, obeisance. I'm reading a book on the prime ministers of Israel, and it has a section talking about Henry Kissinger. And at one point, apparently, he leaves his glasses in the limousine and gets out, and one of the Secret Service guys comes running in to hand him his glasses. Because Henry Kissinger looks at him as like dirt. Like, who are you to talk to me? I'm the Secretary of State, and you're like a servant class guy.
He did?
Yeah. So in the end, the embarrassed Secret Service guy handed it over to a protocol guy, who handed it over to an assistant, who handed it over to Kissinger. But there's this level of like, who are you to walk into me? I'm the Secretary of State. And he looks at it like this is like this whole embarrassed moment where everything stops, and he looks at him like, I'm the Secretary of State. You owe me kavod, right? King David is a divine right king. He's like, he's got the ability to send people to their deaths. He's the boss, right? So who's this Achitophel guy? I mean, he has the right to insist that everybody respect him, and as a role in life, no reason why he should respect anybody. Theoretically, he doesn't owe kavod, honor to him, but he pays kavod to Achitophel. Right? And more than that, he looks at him and he says, "You're my teacher." Right? He looks at, "You're my teacher. You're my master. Or you're my friend. You've done good for me because you gave over to me truth. You gave over to me connection to God. You gave over to me." We can go through later what the particular ideas are. But the question is, am I interested in honor and position and power, or am I interested in you telling me what's true? And am I interested in knowing what's true? Am I interested in being correct? That King David says, what I want is clarity. I want to be connected to the guy, right? I'm not here for games. Life is important. I want clarity, right? We talked before, when you daven, the first thing you daven for is clarity. I want to understand what my obligations in life are. I want to understand what holiness is and what goodness is, right? So even King David, who has the right to diss anybody, recognizes that even an underling, if an underling can come and rebuke him, can teach him, can guide him, rather than looking at it and saying that's a reversal of roles, he looks at it and says, thank you, right? And I respect you. I see you in this aspect. I recognize that you're my master because you have brought me forward, right? Rabu, you've increased me, you've moved me up. So that's when we talk about Hakar Satov, the most important thing he says in here, it says, Ve'ein tov elu Torah, there is no good ultimately other than Torah. So it's a hard thing to get, but we saw a couple of Mishnayot ago that says digging it because everything is in it, right? That everything treated properly is Torah, right? That business is Torah. There's a Torah way to be a plumber. There's a Torah way to be an internet guy. There's a Torah way to be anything. So you have to, right? So a person comes to you and says, listen, when they teach you Torah, says, he comes down and says, a pasuk, a verse, a thing, an idea, an oath. Says if a person's going to bring you truth and justice and morality, right? If they're going to teach you how to talk to your kids or your wife, or how to eat, or how to sit, or how to stand, or how to conduct a deal, whatever it is, if this person is instructing you on how to live your life and they're bringing you goodness and either connecting you to yourself or connecting you to God or connecting you to other people and they're lifting you, says you have to recognize that as good and you have to respect them for it. That your approach should be, the word uses minhag, is hanhaga, that you should be accustomed to it. That it's not just a single, throwaway, thanks, now get out of my house, right? Mm-hmm. It's, I don't care if you're my kid or my friend or the checkout clerk. You've got something to teach me. I'm going to treat you with honor. I'm going to treat you with respect. Because otherwise, I'm not going to get anywhere. If people are afraid to tell me what's true, right? If they're just going to let me wallow in whatever I'm stuck in and rot, I'm never going to get anywhere. The most important thing, the best thing you can do for me is to give me clarity. Right? That's really the ultimate good, is tell me what's true. Tell me what's right. So that's our Mishnah.